So let's take the next call. Are you ready for this one? Looks kind of spicy, and we're gonna talk to Rick, he, him in Canada, who says genocide in the Bible is justified. I would love to hear how you want to back this one up.
Yeah, hello? Hello?
Hi, Rick, you're on.
Oh, hey. Yeah. So you guys are always talking about genocide in the Bible and calling God a monster. So I think either you don't understand who the Amalekites and the Canaanites and the Amorites were, or you guys must be the monsters. So the Amalekites and the Amorites and the Canaanites, they all drove in the same circles, right? There's a list of things that the Canaanites did, one of which is sacrificing their children. We found an Amorite site that had hundreds of babies chopped in half, decapitated in little vials all around their holy site. There's a whole list of close inbreeding from father to mother, mother to son, a complete close incestual list of things that they did. So from a genetic perspective, you should be glorifying God that he wiped them out.
Whoa. From a genetic perspective, we should glorify the murder of humans because they were
of close incestual breeding that would have spawned humanity. Absolutely.
How is that justified? Would our people in that case, are those humans?
Yeah, no, but they're going to be responsible for populating the earth. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so they're humans though, right? Is there a case when killing humans is okay? Is it okay to kill humans?
Well, you just said transphobia has no place in a society. So where does murdering babies have a place in society?
I would not. I never said that transphobes would be murdered. The way that I would get rid of transphobia in society is namely through education and, social consequences, like not letting people say things like that and not have people stand in opposition to it. So that's not the same issue here. You came in here and advocated for people with limited genetic potential to be murdered because of their limited, genetic and reproduction potential, which seems really harsh, don't you think?
That's only a portion of what I said. But secondly, so the Israelites, they should have called the police, or they should have sent them to Oxford University. That's your solution for people 350 or 3,500 years ago? They did what they had to do to survive. These people were murdering them. Read the Bible. And
I read the Bible. So what about the cases where God told them to murder babies?
He told them to. I just said that. So Amalek.
Yeah. So God told them to. So is it? So if somebody does something wrong to me, I should go murder the baby. Is that right?
I'm explaining what happened. I'm explaining what happened.
Does it matter? Does it matter?
Sorry. Yeah, it matters. It does.
Adam, jump in. Adam, jump in here.
Attacked.
Rick, I'm going to mute you.
Rick, you're saying that these people were killing their own babies. So God's restitution was to send the Israelites to kill them and their babies. So how did God do any better? Sorry. Like the main issue that you're raising here is that these people are killing their babies, and God sent the Israelites to kill the babies. So?
Yeah, so I was trying to explain, he cut me off, and I've already done this on Truth Wanted, and they admitted they would have done it as well. So let me explain it to you the same way I explained it to them. If somebody came in your house and tried to kill you, you would obviously kill them. 10 years later, their kids come in and try to kill you, you would kill them. 10 years later, their kids would, when do you say enough is enough?
So here's the problem here, is you're escalating immediately from somebody comes in your house and tries to kill you, you jump to kill them, which if we're talking in any self-defense type situation, like obviously I don't want to kill them. That is not the end goal. The end goal is to get away safely. So if I can do that by a lesser means, like if I can grapple somebody and keep them from harming somebody, that's infinitely better to keep them alive and possibly injured than to kill them. Even if they're taking negative actions against me, even if their intent was to kill me, it's better that I don't. And maybe there's a whole argument you can have about if there's no other choice, whether or not it's okay then to act in self-defense, but that's not necessarily the issue here. So if
It
you think
wasn't
about this too,
self-defense.
if there's this people group that has been doing things that you deem to be bad, like let's say they are killing babies, so God sends, number one, tells his people do not murder, but then okay, but these people are okay because they're killing babies. Could God have come up with a different way that involves less murder to solve the problem? If I can think through a self-defense scenario where I can think of a less murdery way to end it, could God do the same thing?
So thousands. See, that's the thing, is we disconnect ourselves from society because we live like kings. We don't. There wasn't phones. There wasn't police. There wasn't the luxury.
I don't think Rick.
Like,
I don't think that matters. Just people were still people back then. People still, especially if Christians are looking back to the Bible and saying that this was like some of the highlight of our morality, when we had God directly talking to humans. I don't think that's a relevant point here. They weren't stupid back then. They had the ability to I'm sure they had ability to think through a problem of maybe I don't need to kill somebody.
And they did. So Amalek was let go many times. I just explained that to you. They let him run all through Genesis. And God said one day he's going to come back. He's going to be too strong and you got to wipe him out. That's exactly what.
Yeah. So why? So again, no. So is God capable of ending conflict? Is God capable of doing that?
God is capable of doing anything, but that would strip us from.
Okay. Yeah. So could God have thought of a different way to end that conflict besides genocide?
God thought of the original way, which was to give everybody free will. They made their choice. They laid in the bed. They dealt with it. They had the.
So if he knew. So if God knew that these people were going to kill their babies, and then because they were killing their babies, send in another group to genocide them, did God not think this through? So if God is all powerful, and I'm not. Okay, I should ask: do you believe that God is all powerful and all knowing?
Yes.
Okay, so if God is all-powerful and all-knowing, then he would have known this was going to happen. Could he have done something different? Obviously, you're saying that he had the power to do something different. He had the knowledge to do something different. And so this often, I think this makes your situation worse because he didn't want to do anything different. He wanted this to happen. If this was in his will, he wanted this to go down that way.
See, but this is a different argument, and I'll tell you why. If you're dealing with the argument of why is there suffering in the world, there's lots of arguments for that, right? But as far as God intervening, we see through history and what we see today, that's not the case. We live our lives, we make our choices, we deal with it how we deal with it. We have consequences today. They didn't have consequences.
No, but hold on.
We're not
hold
talking about suffering
Adam,
here.
Adam,
We're not talking about suffering. I don't think Ben was raising any problem of suffering. We're talking about an all-powerful God who can end the conflict his own way with his own power, yet he finds and he wills for us to go and practice genocide. So how is that justifies your
if God, that's
standpoint?
what you atheists don't understand. If God were to intervene in our lives, we would strip us of free will. Just like you guys say, if God was real, I wouldn't worship him. Yes, you would. And you wouldn't have free will because of it. That's why God doesn't intervene. He allows us to have free will. So we make choices, we get consequences.
Many times.
No, but this isn't.
He ended Sodom and Gomorrah. He killed all the Egyptian firstborn. So God intervened without causing us to kill other people. So why is it justified then in an act of war to go and kill all the people, all their babies, and by the way, also all the sheep and cattle? It was a bloodshed. Not even the animals were spared. So how do you find that? Were the animals bad also, by the way?
Everything about them had to be wiped off the earth. They were evil.
Why
Really?
did
the animals, even innocent animals that they didn't do anything bad, God found the all-merciful God found that even the animals have to be killed?
If you look at it from a genetic perspective, the animals were probably just as inbred as they were, and we know
Okay.
how that would have ended up. Right?
Hold on, Rick.
So-
Rick, this is a completely different point. So we were talking about murder and the justification of vengeance, essentially. But then you switch over to this other point, which is, I think, more disgusting. The fact that you are advocating for people who have limited genetic diversity, and then saying that because of that limited genetic diversity, that's a reason that they should be killed. And this is eugenics. This is disgusting. Do you not understand what you're advocating for with that?
This is what Hitler advocated for.
This is your ideology, Ben, not mine. You're the
I didn't know.
You're the one that
I
says
never. I am not
genetic
Rick. Oh no, I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you. So I did not come on the show and say that people with limited genetic diversity should be murdered. I did not make that claim. You came on the show and you made the claim that that was one of the reasons why these populations had to die. That is a point that you made. So I'm going to unmute you, but do not accuse me of an argument that you made on the show. You're back.
So is it illegal to marry your sister where you're from, Ben? Can you be put in jail for that?
Being put in jail and being murdered are not equivalent. So don't bring that. The question is, should you murder? Are you advocating for murder of somebody because of a genetic reason?
The reason for
I
your
just
call,
explained
Rick,
it to you.
was
Today-
the wars in the Bible were justified. That's what the reason for your call, that you're saying that these wars and wiping out people is justified. So please justify that without changing the cause.
Yeah, I don't know. He keeps jumping between subjects, and I think, I don't want to platform any more eugenics on this show today, so I'm going to drop you. Sorry, Rick. You can call in next time, but I suggest maybe don't make an argument that something that is biologically outside of somebody's control is a reason to murder them. I'm not okay with those arguments being made.